We're taping here. We're taping now. Shh.
It's true, yeah. Hey, be quiet, everybody. We're on the program.
Yeah.
What happens here? We turn on the machines, and then we start talking.
For an hour.
All
Quiet on the set.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
It's Monday. You see, Dan is back here for Mondays.
Who?
Dan.
Tease. I know who Dan is.
Yeah, there he is. And
at least I've been told I know who Dan is.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I don't believe what I never mind.
You don't believe what you know and see and is in your mind? If you're listening on the radio, we're a call-in show. You can call in. The number is 360-836-4384. It's 208 Dog Doug.
Give us a call. You probably will not regret it.
We're doing...
Or you could, but we're not going to waste too much of your time.
Odds are in your favor that you will not. However, if you say something that you regret, then, that's how it happens.
Well, at least your face won't be on camera, and you would be like, oh, it's that guy.
That guy.
But I'm comfortable with my non-status. I'm just another casual Olympian.
Well, those of you within the range of my voice, but not my image, I've put together some trail mix. What I like to do is go to Top Foods or Winco or whatever, where they have the bulk things, where you can get just cranberries or just cashews or just peanuts,
Fred Meyer.
different things. Yeah, Fred Meyer too. Most of the major grocery stores. And I will make my own trail mix. I am simply not satisfied with the bags that are already put together. There's just too much of stuff that I don't want, so I make my own. And in this case, I put smoky peanuts
on top of
raw cashews,
smoky
honey roasted peanutty things, banana chips, cranberries, and wasabi peas. Yes, that's right. This is trail mix.
So with smoky peanuts, you cover those with cheese, and have a pet rhino, and something else. I don't know how that sound goes.
No to the three things.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's pet rhino?
On top of Old Smoky, covered with cheese. He had a pet rhino.
I don't remember the rhino.
Oh Lord.
And what does that have to do with peanuts?
I don't know. It's just a song, bro.
Oh, okay.
The only reference is Smokey.
Carl's been doing this this improv comedy thing. It's been driving him to be making jumps. He's making jumps, big leaps, conceptual leaps. I think it's pretty good. Today is
I'm bleeping right now.
Yeah, there it goes. It's Plant Day today. We're doing theme days now. Every day is its own theme.
Really?
Today's theme is plant.
Well, if you're in need of suggestions for different days, if you run out, I am happy to contribute ideas.
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing that towards the end of the show, I think, now. So maybe towards the end we'll
figure out the next one?
Figure out the next couple.
That could be just a possibility.
We have the next week planned out. Today is Plant Day. Tomorrow is Ants versus Honey Day. And then after that is hamburgers. Ants versus honey.
What?
That's going to be... Yeah, we're going to see what happens. That's like what the pros and cons of ants and honey. We're going to debate them or something.
Okay.
Hamburgers.
Good choice.
For Wednesday, and then failure. Thursday's theme is failure, and then...
Excellent.
And then confessions.
Ooh, on Friday?
Yeah, Friday confessions.
Nice.
Ooh, and then flying. Saturday's flying.
Oh, nice.
So
these are good daily topic day things.
Well, you would have to check either yesterday's episode or the day before episode, where I just started riffing off on things, and Kenny was like, He just wrote stuff down, and I was like, oh crap, I'm opening my mouth, and words come out, and Kenny grabs a word and puts it in the calendar, and it's another theme. I didn't know that I was just going to be like a wash of idea. I'm an idea man now.
Yeah.
I'm just.
That's what keep him around. Carl's idea
stream of
man.
consciousness.
Actually, Carl, I would say quite often you are a good
No.
idea man. Yeah.
You're
No.
the idea man.
You have very interesting ideas.
I
I find them interesting.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well,
Just saying.
don't tell
Oh.
Carl Aspie this.
oh. Hey, how was your week, Dan?
That was pretty good.
Yeah. You see anything on the streets?
Nope.
No street stuff. That's safe then, probably. That's what
Well,
I.
I was thinking of small creatures, you know. Oh, you know, I've seen the usual squirrels, cats, dogs.
Well, really, it's kind of. I think spring is the animal season, and then I think summer is a little bit less animal season. Like they all come out in the spring a lot, and they're babies and stuff, and then they go back in the summer to hide from the heat. I think spring and fall, animal season.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
So, what can you tell us about plantology?
I can tell you a number of different things. Biology is something. You know what's weird about biology? When I was taking it in high school, I got A's, like 100%, 99%. I did really, really well. But it's never been a thing of great interest for me. I mean, I like it. It's a science, and I enjoy stuff about plants and that sort of thing. But I always did really well in biology, and it's weird, you know. But I love astronomy, but that involves a good deal of math, and I don't do well with math, and so
Me too.
I didn't do well with the classes. As much as I love astronomy and physics and stuff, yeah, the math has always killed at me. I get killed in. My parietal lobe melts often.
Well,
But plants,
yes.
plants are interesting.
Well, yes. To constantly been, I struggled through 2+2 or 17 plus 38 or whatever, even during middle school. You know, like, okay, we know that you're like past this, but we still are obligated to make sure that you're up to speed, that you haven't forgotten this for the past 5 years or whatnot. And I'm like, please, come on.
All
It's
shall
sixth grade.
be tested. Every one
Yeah.
of us must be tested.
Yeah.
It's part of the public school process. We hate it.
Cog
It's
in
worse
the
now
machine.
than when I grew up.
Well, I'm
Way
sure it
worse.
is. I'm sure it is.
You know, each teacher made up their own tests, but now they're the standardized tests that the teacher has to teach specific things about, you know, and people have to memorize the names of things and the places of things and the times of things and relationships and structural organized things and just all kinds of very, very specific things. And instead of that, they do away with other kinds of things that they could teach that are just as or more important than, you know, memorizing this set of facts and then regurgitating it for a test, which is very saddening for me. So the teachers are forced to teach the test, and if the students do well, the teachers are sort of rewarded. If the students don't do well, the teachers are punished, and so it sets up a relationship of angst for the teacher when they're teaching.
Yeah.
They're teaching because they're worried about stuff, not because necessarily, or at least in that case, not because they love to teach and they want the kids to learn.
No, it's like learn harder.
When I teach stuff, I want them to learn. It's very important for them to learn. And it's a positive emotion for me. I'm not worried about anything. But teaching to a test, well, they have to know this, 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 and this, and they'll be tested. And my prowess as a teacher will be marked or graded as a result. And it just, it's unhelpful, unhealthy pressure for a teacher.
Right. Well, you're at TCTV as you know, you train people occasionally or very often, and you know, you don't want to be repeating all the time about where the RCA jacks go, you know, the cable ends, or you know, how do you fit this nub in that socket or whatnot.
Got
You
you
need a
took a
pen.
breath.
You're going to roll the dice.
Yes.
Yeah, you're correct. You're correct, Carl.
Don't want to repeat yourself. It's a good reason to.
Well, one
want
thing
people
that does
to know just
happen,
teaching.
you know, a school is kind of a small community, and if a teacher's students are doing really badly on their tests, not the state exams or anything like that.
Oh boy.
I have to use the
Chaos.
sky pen, sir.
Oh, one of these pens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
So,
Sharpie pens. Awesome.
you know, 20, 30 years ago, if a teacher routinely, his kids do poorly on their tests, the principal's going to talk to the teacher and say, yo man, what's up?
Uh-huh.
So, in a way, it does reflect on the teacher, but only in a general sense across whatever the subject range. And in grade school, where it's really important, the teacher sees different groups of students. They'll have the homeroom, and then different classes will come in depending on the expertise of the teacher. Like if this teacher is knows everything about history, then a class of kids will come in for his history lesson.
Mm-hmm.
If a teacher knows chemistry, then the kids will come in for, a chemistry lesson or whatever that class length. And if all of his kids do poorly, it'll show up. They'll show up. But the teaching to the test are things that are not necessarily relevant or germane to the community of the kids that are there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's statewide, and
You're the last
not healthy.
person that needs to get a pen. Or a number, actually.
We're going to get this thing. We're going to visualize the future. We're writing down numbers on our hands between 1 and 6. We're going to be rolling a dice. This is the first dice. We're going to be rolling 2 dice after that, and then 3. A total of 6 dice.
I am visualizing 1 right now. Can we look at the camera?
Oh, yeah, we got the camera going. We're going to get the thing. Keep it rolling. We're going to get the sound going for the radio listeners. Yeah, can you hear that? Whoa, Carl's making the sounds.
You got the sound effects?
I'm getting them going here.
Okay, hold on, Carl.
Oh, you're going to shake. Carl, keep shaking the thing, though. Make sure it's extra shook up so that it's a fair roll here. I don't want to cheat
For the
roll.
viewers at home, I just had my hand on the side of my head, acting like I had nothing to do.
All right, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
It's a 5. I lost.
Yeah, you kind of need to get in there because you can't really see the dots. Anyway, it's a 5.
Anybody win?
And
No.
No.
I need one more. I need one more.
All right. Well, here's a voicemail.
Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun
Voicemail.
dun
Who's
dun.
it going to be? What are
Yeah,
they
it's
gonna
from an
say?
unknown caller.
Oh, no.
Could be anything, really.
Anything.
Who is it? Oh, it was
Someone
Bale.
sounded like they were doing a kiss.
I think it sounded like they were thinking about calling, but then when nobody answered, they didn't want to leave a message. Somebody says, "Come see the blooming season this Friday." It's an advertisement, but come see the blooming season this coming Friday at 7:30 at the Evergreen State Hall in the Com Building.
Yeah, so I got another question for you. Or maybe this is my first plant question, but I read somewhere, could have been on Facebook. Anyway, that plants are, somehow, like 75 or 95% related to the other spectrum of life on planet Earth being animals. Is that true?
Well, the tree of life, as you know, it divides outwards and
Right.
eventually goes down to larger and larger groups. And very early on, when life began, I'm trying to remember what epoch that it was on.
Well, that would have been an epic one, to have a division between plants and animals.
Well,
That's a pun for those at home.
When plants first began, I'll tell you this. I'm not sure when it happened. When plants began, there were only a very, very few varieties, like maybe a dozen different varieties that were the same. They didn't evolve. They didn't change over millions and millions and millions of years. And the biggest ones were giant ferns. Giant ferns. You've seen ferns where they're little small things and they got the fronds coming out. Well, these were trees, tree-sized. They're really big, really huge. And flowering plants didn't come into existence until 300 or 400 million years ago.
They need the animals, right?
It took a long time before flowering plants happened.
And flowering plants came around because of animals anyway, right?
Bees.
So.
Yeah, bees.
Bees, some ants, some bees, most bees, and probably butterflies. I'm not sure when butterflies showed up.
And that kind of gives you an appreciation of how long it takes to have the planet evolve to what we know today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what happened is one particular group of trees, I think it was this, when flowering plants came into existence, the variety changed greatly. It was a diaspora of different kinds of trees. And normally bacteria that eats the wood, that decays the wood, decays trees with bark, didn't exist. And so the trees would grow up and live, eventually die, fall down, and they didn't rot or decay.
Whoa.
And more would grow up, fall down, rot, and there were vast areas where there were these ancient forests of piles and piles and piles and piles and piles and piles of trees, because little bacteria that could eat it didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually one mutated that liked it, and of course, a vast supply of food, so it divides and they divide and they divide, and eventually wood started decaying. But up until that point, piles of forests were laid down, and dust and dirt and sand and storms and whatever piled on top of that, and they became part of the sediment. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And as more and more erosion, dust, debris landed on top, it was pushed further and further and further down, and it was compressed. And the further down it went, and the more it was compressed, the more it was heated. And 300 million years later, coal.
Yeah.
Now, before these trees, there were vast mats of bacteria, pond scum, essentially. Everywhere there was water, there was all kinds of pond scum, and anywhere there was a big lake, that layers and layers and layers of this pond scum formed, and you get all this early plant life plant life bacteria, single-celled stuff gets layered and layered and layered at the bottom of the lake, and you get tons of layers. And there were bigger lakes and smaller lakes and lake chains and systems. Eventually that gets covered over, and that was over time pushed down further and further and further and further. But that was before these piles of trees. Okay, so this is like 100 million years before that, or 500 million years before that. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what the year. I'd have to look. Anyway, these are deeper, and there is more pressure, and the material is slightly different. The starting substance is slightly different, but it was subject to a little bit more intense conditions, and that's where we get our oil from. These swamp mats. And these areas where you get 100 billion barrels of oil, these were these vast lake chains that were there for millions of years, and they have very, very thick.
It's info time.
Okay, go
Here
for
are
it.
answers to some frequently asked questions about the program. You're watching it right now. It's called Your Daily Hour with Me. It's a call-in television talk show on the radio that's recorded right here in Thurston County every day, 7 days a week, every day of the year. It airs every night at 11:30 p.m. on Channel 22 and at 2 a.m. on Low Power FM. Each episode airs a week after it was taped, so if you're watching this on TV at 11:30 p.m., this episode taped the same weekday of the previous week. If you're watching this at 2 a.m. on the radio or TV, this episode taped the same month of the previous year. You can also watch any episode on YouTube.com. We rely on you for content, so give us a call. Oh boy, thank you. Because you rock.
Yeah.
So that's where we get our coal and our oil from. Plants.
Whoa.
Yep.
Here, let's call Freddie the producer. Let's see if he's getting over his thing. He's been out of commission for a few days there. Whoa. Here goes. Sam is scheduled to be here tomorrow.
Hey,
I'll
look
call
at
him
that.
too. Yeah. For
Welcome back, Sam.
Ants versus Honey Day.
Wow.
Have you ever heard of the Permian extinction?
You're going to probably tell me Yucatan Peninsula, right? No.
No. No, that was the Jurassic.
Hey,
Right.
you've reached Freddie Dobler. I can't come to the phone right now, but if you leave me a nice message, then I will call you back as soon as I can. Thanks a lot.
Hey, Freddie.
It's a program.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Hope you're feeling well.
Yeah, are you okay? You getting over your disease thing? You can call us back. You have about
You have
35
the
minutes.
disease thing?
Sore throat.
Something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good enough to be a disease.
Yeah. I got maybe disease is a little bit of
No, it's a general term for pathogen
yeah. That's what I was thinking.
illness
Mhm.
thing.
Is that what you were talking to me about? Was that the time that some sort of planetoid that was like Mars size?
No, there were
collided with planet Earth to create the moon.
Oh, that was way before all the plants ever
Right.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in fact, it made two, and then the smaller one crashed into the bigger moon.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's part of why the side that we see looks the way it does. Because it took a while before this other smaller body hit it.
Oh. Okay. Wow.
Because a Mars-sized object hit the
Your
Earth,
call has been forwarded to an automatic
big debris
voice
ring.
message system.
Sam Miller.
Is not available.
the moon
The tone.
formed,
Please
but
record your
there
message.
was more debris
When you
further
have
out
finished
that
recording,
slowly
you may
spiraled
hang up
in, and
or
it was
press
just
1
a
for
smaller
more
chunk.
options. To leave
You
the
know,
callback number,
massive,
press 5.
gigantinormous asteroid size.
Hey Sam, it's the program.
How are you doing?
You can call us back. You have about 35 minutes. You're scheduled to be here tomorrow. I think 10 p.m. tomorrow. It's gonna be Ants versus Honey Day.
Yep. Think about ants versus honey. Think about it. Or not.
Don't think about it. Just think about it when you get here. You don't have to.
When you were talking to me about these, you know, like a smaller body collided with a larger body that is
Yeah.
now currently the moon.
Mhm.
I was going to ask you whether or not you were Gloria Foster or you had red candy to hand out to me. Is this the Matrix? Are these red pills right here?
Yes.
This code red?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes to all.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Pretty
yes to
far
all.
out stuff, huh?
Yeah.
But you're white, not black, and you're male, not female.
Yes and yes.
Red pills. What are we gonna do next? We can call some McDonald's too.
So what
Or can
happened?
we hear about your science thing?
Yeah. There were two major extinctions. One was the Permian that killed off. It was terrible. It was a terrible extinction, and it killed off like 90% of all life on Earth.
Do they
as
know
opposed to the asteroid that hit the Yucatan Peninsula that killed off the dinosaurs, it killed off much less. Much fewer.
Do
It was
they
not
know
as
where
bad.
the impact zone is of this
The Permian?
event?
No. This is the best theory that I've heard, and the evidence is very strong supporting this. That the Permian extinction was not an asteroid; it was a natural disaster. You remember me talking about these forests of trees that didn't decay and they were under the ground?
Yeah.
Well, this Permian one happened right around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And after the recovery, that's when flowering plants showed up.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a vast diversity after this extinction. What happened is there was this massive forest in, I think it was southern Russia, hundreds and hundreds of millions of hectares, just this vast forest of these trees that had died, and so this big, huge layer, and it was partially underground, and a volcano happened there, because this part of the Ring of Fire, right, along Russia, a volcano happened there, and the lava caught the wood on fire.
Whoa.
All this wood that was not decayed, it caught on fire. And it burned and burned and burned for hundreds and hundreds of years. This black, sooty smoke burned. Not only was it volcanism going
Now,
on.
this is not something you can blame on mankind.
Not at all.
Not at all.
But it set up a chain reaction, because that's not just what happened when the world got cold because of all the soot in the air. It changed the environment. It changed the sea currents. It set up acid rain. It set up all kinds of other stuff, and other life died that would otherwise provide oxygen, and it acidified the seas, killed off a lot of the blue-green algae, and they stopped producing oxygen, and it was a cycle. It was a terrible, terrible cycle of this massive forest fire, partially coal, charcoal kind of, that burned and burned and burned, because it was massive. It was huge. And, it's, you set a little bit of charcoal on fire, it'll start up the stuff around it. And that stuff will start up the stuff around it, and it just spreads.
There was no benefit to having all this wood burned.
No benefit whatsoever. There were no campers. There were no hot dogs or marshmallows.
Well, there would be no like offset of like a production of a certain kind of algae that would probably grow.
Something
easier
happened.
in
Something survived from it, and they came back. So it's a good thing
Easier.
from
Yeah,
it.
most of the life in the sea died, and a little bit of life on the land lived. More life on the land lived than in the sea. The sea was hit pretty hard, and it took hundreds of thousands of years to come back after this forest fire burnt out. After it finally ended, it took a very long time for the Earth to recover, and this was the Permian extinction.
Mm-hmm.
And 300 million years later, we got dinosaurs. Actually, they came out soon after this. There was the precursors to the dinosaurs, which were lizards, mostly, and dinosaurs came from them, and birds came from dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But plants were around pretty much the whole time,
Yeah.
all that time.
Wow,
Plants are interesting.
that's plants. I'm trying to I don't know what else. When I think of plants, and you just see it's nature. I think Bird said he wanted to have a plant day anyway in the first place. Power plants,
Do you have plants in your house?
indoor plants.
Yeah.
No, we had some plants. I think we had tried to grow a couple plants on the program. It never worked out. We had a weed. That's like you grabbed like a dandelion. And I just put it in there.
Grew for a long time. That's a tough little bugger.
Yeah.
That one was happy for a long time.
And then I think I eventually just gave up on it and it died. But there's a lot of plants. You can see the grass outside and everything. I don't have any house plants because I just end up.
We kind of
getting
take them for granted, don't we?
Do you have house plants?
Uh-huh. Yeah, a bunch.
You ever farmed? Have you ever tried to farm anything? I don't know. I've
Yeah.
never eaten anything I've grown.
I've had a garden on many occasions. Different places where I've had a yard. Yeah, I've always tried to have a garden. I'm
You
not
eat
very
it?
good at it because I'm not I don't regularly visit the garden and weed it and stuff like that. I just plant the stuff, and I want to come back and have food right there waiting for me. You know, like the grocery store.
Does that work out?
You know, it doesn't work out very well, I hate to say.
But sometimes if you're done it, then you come back and you're like, wow, and there's a food there. I mean, like maybe once all the time.
Some plants will just grow like crazy because there's ample amounts of rain and stuff, and
Like what can you just plant and then eat later?
okay.
Potatoes, blackberry. I mean, there's blackberries.
Peas, carrots, radishes, romaine lettuce, onions, corn.
All that stuff, huh?
Oh yeah,
Just
I tried
throw
to
it
grow a lot of stuff. Flowers.
Oh yeah, but if you just throw it out there and then just come back later and we'll be there.
Well, you want to be a little more organized about it than that.
All right.
You know, if you have little rows, then you know you'll know the carrots are all right here.
Who
What
needs?
if I just get like a handful of seeds, and then I just throw them out the window, and then I'm just gonna like look out the window every once in a while.
Yeah,
will
Jack
grow.
and the Beanstalk. Come on. Who needs organization?
Yeah. What if I just go buy a big, or if I just get a handful of seeds and just bury it, and then
Hey,
pour water on it, they all grow at the same time.
if it worked in nursery rhymes, why
Maybe.
can't it work in real life?
Has that ever? I know people don't do that. They don't just throw all their
Well-
seeds at one spot and then pour water on it.
No, they don't.
Is that gonna work?
Not very well.
What,
Yeah, is there a drum roll?
Yeah. What would happen if you did that? I don't know. I'm gonna try it out. Just
You'd have a little clump of things
Yeah.
growing all together, and
there'd be too many not enough resources for a little amount of plants.
yeah, you'd have a little pile all close up together. Yeah, closer.
5, 4, 5. I won. I got a 4.
Oh wow.
I got 500 points.
Team 4.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
Oh, you got a 4 too, huh? So it's me and Carl versus Dan then. Dan's got a 3 probably, yeah.
That's quite the finger to put that one on. Nice work.
That's one of the easier places of my hand to.
What happened?
There's a bug. Some bugs flying in my ears.
He doesn't like flying things.
Yeah, close to your ears. You know, we had a bug flew right by my ear, so it seems like it's like it ain't gonna be really big or somebody's like very loud, and then it just happened to me.
Yeah, it's freaky.
Yeah.
Speaking of freaky creatures and ears, I had nightmares for, I guess, somewhat a little bit of time. I don't know if it was the longest time, but do you remember the Wrath of Khan? That
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, where they have these insects going in, and Chekhov's ear, and someone else. Paul Winfield, I think, is the actor. He's a
Is that Paul
black
Winfield?
dude.
Dan?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
passed away too.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, about 6 months ago. Maybe a year. Yeah, maybe a year ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I liked anything I saw him in. He did well.
Anyway, I didn't really like having things go in ears. You know, it's like
Well, who wants that?
mind control device. Ugh.
I don't like that
mind
either.
control device.
I don't like
Ugh.
bugs in my ears.
Yeah.
I've never.
I love bugs in my ears.
No.
Well,
Let's try calling Mr.
think I'd
Ginsu and
rather-
seeing if he likes bugs in his ears.
I think I'd rather have a bug crawl in my ear than one crawl in my eye. If I had the choice.
Oh boy.
But your eyes
If
don't have
I
any
had a
openings
bug
in
and
there.
he was like saying, "I'm going in one. You have to pick."
How's it
I'm
gonna
like,
go
"Okay."
into your eye? Like drill into your eye?
Well, climb under your lid
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Oh
and they
boy.
get stuck up in there,
What?
and then
Who?
roll around and get in your brain. Yeah.
This is starting to sound like Star Trek again.
Yeah, we're putting Carl's name. Carl's telling us about nightmare, and then we start going.
I can tell you more things about plants if you're interested.
Yeah, more things about plants.
Yeah, less geophysical history and more about plants. So there are the leafy plants, and there's the grassy plants. And grasses.
Can I stream McDonald's?
Hey, McDonald's, do you guys have the orange milkshakes yet?
Have the what, sir?
Orange milkshake. It usually comes around in the summer. Arctic orange.
Oh, no, we don't have it right now.
Oh, what you guys got now?
Chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry.
Just the regular stuff? Do you know if you're going to be getting anything in soon?
I'm not sure because the manager is not in right now.
Mm-hmm.
They received the stocks. He's not in right now, so I'm not sure. So.
They don't tell you guys about it?
No, they don't tell us anything about nothing.
There's not like a calendar or anything?
A calendar. I can check on it. Hold on. So.
Okay, thank you. Look at the calendar. Mm-hmm. We're listening in on the...
Everything's interesting.
Sir, no, the calendar of May doesn't say anything, but maybe the June one will when they put it up.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, of the many times that you have called McDonald's Kenny,
Mm-hmm.
the many times that I've heard,
Yeah.
you will ask them a question about that.
Yes. Calendar.
And repeatedly, they will say, they don't tell us anything.
Yeah, they don't know anything.
They don't tell us nothing.
Yeah, they don't know anything about it.
Within
Repeatedly,
the last
that is consistent.
within the last
4
two
years, man.
Yeah, it's been years.
within the last 2 weeks, he was able to. Someone almost told him what was on the schedule of the calendar.
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost. What stopped
It was like a cliffhanger.
What stopped him?
I don't know. I don't remember what was going on with that.
You think they were afraid they'd get caught or
I think.
something?
Oh, I think somebody told me that they can't tell me. Some people want to say that they don't know and be honest with it. Sometimes they try to pretend like it's some kind of secret.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nah, we can't tell you that. And they don't want to say, I don't know that. They don't tell me that. Like some of them, and I think it's this thing where they don't tell them to do that, but they feel like since they're employed that they have this like air of secrecy about them. And I don't think it's a corporate policy to do that kind of thing. I
Well,
think they bring it upon themselves to try to be more stealthy than they actually need to be.
Well, what if they get in trouble for giving wrong information? What if they're not sure and they just want to give you an answer?
They should just say no, that we don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, most of them do though, right?
Most of them do, but a few of them think that they're being sneaky. Every once in a while, we run into that.
We've got a
but
ne'er-do-well.
if they were
McDonald's
honest though, if they were honest, what's the harm or the fail to McDonald's? I mean they're such a big company. If
Yeah, they're not thinking logically like that. Those few people there, they're just
if,
having an employee power trip. They're like, I'm employed here. I can announce what's secret.
I mean, if you were able to find out whether or not you could get like an orange milkshake or something, or some sort of Oreo candied thing or whatever that is, like next week or 2 weeks from now, it's not going to impact the bottom line of a competitor. Even a local competitor, especially a local competitor to McDonald's, because, McDonald's is like such a big company that, why are they so concerned about what their, menu is coming out to be like?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me, but I guess McDonald's is its own beast, I guess, at this point.
Yep.
We can tell us about leafy versus what's the other kind?
There's
Grassy.
two kinds of,
Grassy.
yeah. There's two different kinds of chloroform.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophylls.
Chloroform is that stuff you
Yeah,
pass
that's
out people.
Okay, so there's two different kinds.
Yeah, chloroform plants. Yeah.
The kind in grass is a little different. It has a slightly different molecular structure that converts light and water and air, carbon dioxide, into sugars and oxygen. And the kind in grasses is more efficient. You got more bang for your buck from grasses. If you're in an enclosed environment and you needed photosynthesis to produce oxygen, let's say you're in a habitat on Mars, grass. Lots of grass.
Wow.
It's more efficient.
Because you always see trees, like on if in space movies and stuff, if they're having the plants, they're like, let's put a tree in there.
Well, not only that, you have people planting trees.
How much grass do you need if you put it in a space station? You don't even need oxygen and stuff anymore. Maybe we'll figure this stuff out after the commercial break.
I can tell you why.
New Moon Cafe.
Dance Oli Dance. Dance Oli Dance. Live TV dance party. First Friday of each month. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. TCTV Studio A. 440 Yager Way. Oh yeah.
Brand Interiors Limited presents Private Memories of the Skrill Meadow album 2014.
Oh, so we're not doing the split episode thing. We're just gonna. Fair enough. What's it gonna be like tomorrow?
Private Memories, Skrill Meadow, available at these fine retailers.
Coming up
Tomorrow on the program.
Hey, we're here on the commercial. There's Sam. He's here and talks for the first 20 minutes and then he leaves. No, it was 20 minutes. That's all.
40
minutes. First 40 minutes, last 20 minutes. But we talk about ants versus honey and the legal system. And we hear Mr. Jinsu. We're on every night 11:30 to 2 a.m. on TCTV channel 22 and KOA 106.5.
Check
Low
us
power
out.
fab.
Check us out.
Yes. Calling about.
It's got power.
Yeah.
You're so lucky you don't need to stretch at all.
Oh, I'm right there in the middle.
How much grass
So
would it take to put in a space station
yes.
before you could live?
Well, what can you say about a tree that you can't say about your girlfriend?
Improv comedy. Improv comedy. Humor.
Okay. I don't get it.
Well,
I'm a baller,
Kenny's been asking these questions to me.
These are improv
randomly
comedy.
sporadic throughout.
Improv comedy. It's
the
like, what can you
last
say about plants that you can't say about your girlfriend? And then they have to do the sketch. It's improv comedy.
Well.
Well, yeah. Improv comedy stuff. But how much grass would it take to be in a spaceship before people could breathe?
Probably an acre.
Wow. You know what? This is really interesting.
But there's
to
a
me.
problem.
This is really interesting to me because an acre of grass or like planting a couple of trees. You see planting trees all the time in Arbor Day, rather than like buy some sod and put out sod and grass seedlings rather than
plant some
trees
grass
during,
instead of plant some trees.
Yeah, during Arbor Day or
Why not plant
whatever.
more grass?
Arbor Day.
Yeah. But so what's the problem?
So they figured it out when they built the biosphere, Biosphere 2, and they had measured how much oxygen one person takes in, how much oxygen he takes in doing normal day-to-day activities. And then they figured out how much oxygen grasses and plants produce over a 24-hour period, and it was easy enough. And that biosphere was hundreds of acres, and they only had a dozen people in there.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be self-contained. It was supposed to be self-contained. They would eat the food that they grew, and they would just live off their stuff, and the plants would produce enough oxygen for everyone to breathe, and they had a whole water system. It was a whole ecosystem. The problem is that they didn't account for all of the soil bacteria below the ground. And that produces all kinds of methane and carbon dioxide because it's decaying, and that's part of the process.
Right.
And there wasn't enough plants to make up for this. So if you're going to do it, you're going to do it in a space station or in the moon or Mars or something like that, you have to do it hydroponically. The plants won't be as happy because they need that symbiotic bacteria, funguses, and soil kind of stuff to get all the nutrients that they need naturally. So
But-
you'd have to give the plants this artificially.
But it would be much more efficient.
You wouldn't have-
even still with the grass rather than with the trees.
Absolutely.
To grow that
Yeah.
hydroponically.
Yeah, because the grasses are more efficient at it. They produce more.
They've never tried to do this hydroponic grass oxygen machine in space, though?
Not they regularly they take when they deliver cargo to the space station. Regularly, there are these self-contained little packages. They have the lab area, and it's got this slot, and you stick a thing in that's about the size of a fish tank, and it has your entire experiment in that. And so when they do experiments on the space station, these are these self-contained little things. They had spider. They wanted to observe how the spider would weave its webs in space.
Whoa.
Different bees and bugs and ants, all kinds of little insects they would stick in space, and they wanted to see how the...
And just get freaked out and...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, they keep functioning. What did the spider do?
The bee eventually figured out how to fly around. It took them a
Whoa.
while. The spider did crazy nets, and this was an orb weaver, and it makes a regular kind of web. Standard, round and this sort of thing. And nope, couldn't do it.
What did it do?
It's used to gravity.
Yeah.
I want to go back to hydroponics for a second. Is there is the grass able to recycle with water, or water and grass are able to recycle one another easier than in space rather than with the trees themselves? Or is it
you
just
think
a production of oxygen?
think about it. We've got a lawn over there, right?
Yes.
And you have a square meter of area, and that area is covered with a certain percentage of grass, of chlorophyll, right? Right, a certain number of leaves, and so a certain square area of that is capturing light and producing oxygen. In a tree, you've got the trunk that does nothing, you've got the branches that do nothing, and then you've got the leaves, and they're the ones that capture the light and produce the oxygen.
Right.
So, but then again, they're three-dimensional. They're a lot taller, and there's a lot more of them. They take up a smaller ground space,
right,
and they go up. So there is that, and I couldn't possibly do the math for that in my head.
Right.
But then you would need more space in the space station anyway. I think grass is better. But maybe they should just plant all the grass on the walls at least a little bit, and then it'll offset.
What they want to do, there's a company that made inflatable and is still making them, and it launched a little mini one like 4 or 5 years ago, and it's still floating up there.
Yeah.
Still inflated, still happy. And it's a inflatable space station pod. And it has a little window, and it's self-contained inside the rocket, and it's at least as wide as I don't know if the shuttle could have carried it, but it's a regular sized kind of rocket thing, and then it inflates out, and there's stuff inside already for either levels or decks or whatever you want to do. But it's a large space. It would be easily the size of this garage and twice as long, the volume of the area, so you could just kind of bounce all over in one of these things. And they want to make a whole bunch of them. Space motels. Space hotel.
Whoa.
And,
Motel 6
and the
in
lining,
space?
Yeah, the lining for this inflatable thing is as thicker than the space station. And it has layers and layers and layers of this, I forget what it's called, but it's essentially Kevlar. For being hit by little debris and micrometeoroids and stuff like that.
How do they get up there in the first place? Isn't that dangerous and like
you launch
G-force and stuff?
You launch the thing by a regular rocket, right? Just like a satellite,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes up there, and then once it gets up there, it inflates, and the air makes it rigid and strong.
We're getting a
And
phone
it's
call.
just it's a big round Tootsie Roll.
You pull Oliver back over here and then shut the baby gate.
Hello, caller. What?
Hello, this is Sam Miller from
Hey, Sam.
CNN.
How are you doing?
How's it going, bro?
Magical.
Hey.
Yeah, Sam's on the news.
Oh, you're on the
Yeah,
news?
I'm on the news, man.
Sam's
You called me. You called me. What's going on, man?
You're scheduled to be here tomorrow.
What time?
10.
10 o'clock it is. I'll put it in my phone.
It's ants.
Same place.
It's ants versus
I'm at
honey.
Tea party. I have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Whoa, it's all
playing in front of me. They're like messing with me, and they're having a tea party. Hey, can you say hi? Hi. Hi. You're like, hey, say hi. Hi.
Oh.
Say hi. Hi. The show.
Oh, children. Hey, it's Hi, children. It's time for the dice game.
The future of humanity.
Yeah, children of the future. You know what I always say.
The number two.
I believe that the children are our future.
Are you gonna start singing the song of Michael Jackson?
We Are the World? Yeah. Six, 2, 4. Looks like me and Carl won.
Again?
Yeah, with 4s again. Well, we won overall. Oh, Sam's gone. Well, we'll see him tomorrow. Yeah, Sam's been on the news for that drunk driving guy.
I've heard nothing of this.
There was a guy who drove 100 miles an hour from the West Side Tavern into downtown and crashed into a building.
Yeah.
And then he didn't get a very harsh sentence, and people are saying that it's because he has the money and kind of bought his way out
Did
of
he
it.
kill someone?
No. I don't think anybody got hurt.
Someone lost a leg or something?
No, nothing like that
Oh,
happened.
no, but there was another event like that where in broad daylight somebody sped through downtown. I remember that.
And
that was
some girl
yeah.
and she lost her leg?
Yeah, something like that. That was from before. I think that I don't know what happened with that, but
Okay. So was Sam the dude?
no, Sam was the is the guy who organized the protest against the guy, and then he called news stations and got picked up on national news. It was on Anderson Cooper and Nancy Grace. I actually saw the Nancy Grace thing. It was pretty funny.
What did they call it? There was a name for this little movement. Something justice or something, or
something about injustice, but
justice for one or something, or
Nancy Grace was pretty funny. She wanted to know what he was drinking. She's like, you know what he was drinking? It's like Fireball.
Yeah.
What was he
Okay,
drinking?
Nancy. Thank you.
Yeah, she seemed really far out. I hadn't seen too much of her, but I watched the Sam Miller thing. But he'll be here tomorrow, so national hero Sam Miller on the program tomorrow. I don't know what else
I know. I've listened to Nancy Grace. I've watched Nancy Grace. She's a terrible, terrible human being.
She's just,
awful human being.
She's just a news person. I think she's about, like, on the same level as, like, maybe Tom Cruise or any other, entertainment figure.
Oh, I used to watch her all the time, and I was appalled at her approach to things and how just harsh and judgmental, how she made assumptions, labeling, characterizations, just awful.
Yeah, she's awful, but she's just on TV and she's just
she was a
voicing her.
prosecuting attorney.
Yeah. See,
job.
that's the thing. I think of those attorneys. You just want to even if you're wrong, you just keep laying everything on there, right? No matter
she just loves to punish.
All you got, you just punish. Yeah.
She wants to punish everything and everyone all the time, every day, always.
You got to stop those people. Stop that. Hey, stop.
Yeah, they're the one that make everyone miserable around them because they think they must be punished.
Hey, you, stop that. Don't do that anymore.
Oh no, it's beyond that. It's like, look, you stepped left when you should have stepped right. I will now beat you.
You already did it. You shouldn't have done that.
There, you just learned your lesson.
Punishment,
Yeah.
harsh punishment from Nancy Grace.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she was, but
He should be called just the Punisher.
the Punisher. I would watch that show
Yeah,
more. I think people would too.
She doesn't have a skull on her black T-shirt.
Yeah,
you know,
she
big
could
white
get one.
skull.
No, she dresses nicely, actually.
Well, yeah, right, I know, but you know, the Punisher was like this guy with dark hair.
Yeah,
The comics guy, the Punisher.
Yeah, with lots of guns and.
Oh yes.
You know, I saw one of the movies, and the Punisher was Dolph Lundgren.
Yes.
He was in the movie, right? I don't think he was. That was Thomas Jane. Dolph Lundgren was the bad guy.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he.
Right,
Well, back in the 80s.
Oh, in the 80s.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we're talking a long time.
Yeah.
He did that. He was in the movie.
The
I'm
old
not sure
one.
if he
I think
was
he was.
the
Maybe he
Punisher.
was in that one. Yeah.
I keep thinking he was.
You might be right
but it
about
was
that.
a few years after he played the
Rocky.
opponent of Rocky. Yeah.
Yeah. So was he a Australian or
He was in a bunch of movies.
was he a German Punisher though? It's like I'm the Punisher, like a Schwarzenegger.
No, he doesn't really have an accent.
Oh yeah.
Or
What does
if
he say?
Does, it's
I will
not thick
crush
at all.
you. That's what he says in Rocky, right? That's his big Rocky line.
Yeah.
I think I will crush you. Is that what he says?
I
Carl,
will-
do you know about that?
I will crush you.
I'm no
No?
clue at all.
No Rocky.
Yeah.
No know about Rocky.
Yeah, and it's funny how they you'd.
I've seen
in that
enough
Rocky
of-
movie. They'd be in their corners, and Rocky saying, "Oh, that guy, he's made out of bricks."
I've seen enough of Sylvester Stallone though. Speaking of Rocky, but not of Dolph Lundgren.
And then he was number
Two.
two.
I think two. Where did he? Yeah. Spoiler. I think
Number-
it was number two.
No, number
Number
one,
two.
he loses.
Number one is Apollo. Number two is Dolph Lundgren. Number three
No,
is Hulk
number
Hogan,
two,
right?
Number two, he fights Apollo
T.
again.
Oh, Apollo, Mr. T.
Yeah, Mr. T, not Hulk Hogan.
Number two, and number three is Dolph Lundgren,
Yeah, I think so.
and then
Well, what's Mr. T? I thought Mr. T was number 3.
Mr. T is number two.
Well, I thought he comes back and he beats Apollo.
I
Number
give
two.
up.
Oh yeah, so it's Apollo and then Apollo again, number two, and then Dolph Lundgren number three, and
No,
then
no. Mr. T is
Mr.
number
T
three.
number three, Dolph Lundgren number four.
I think
What
so.
about Hulk Hogan? That's number three too, right? Also.
Yeah. He was
Getting-
doing a performance thing or something like that, and Hulk Hogan was.
Carl, you're
he
not
was
enjoying
facing
this
off
Rocky.
No, I'm getting the headache through all this 2, 3, 4,
5, 2,
19,
2, 5,
22,
2,
8,
1.
6,
4.
4. You know, it's like.
Yeah, what is going on with that, huh? It's getting. Well, hey, it's the end of the
Hey.
program. Nobody
wow.
answered on the McDonald's, but we made it through another episode of the program without losing consciousness or dying.
Yes, that's good. I'm glad I'm
And-
still conscious and alive.
Right when we started saying random numbers.
We didn't run out of stuff to say,
We could have
but
kept going with those numbers, I thought, for a while. But thanks, Dan and Carl. Thanks for being here today.
You know
Yeah,
what my
you're
favorite
welcome.
part of the plant is?
Huh.
The palisade cells.
Thanks,
Oh, boy.
Sam.
isn't that too geeky? That's geeky enough, I think.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What is Palisade?
Palisade cells. They are the cells that line the inside of the leaf, and they give it structural integrity.
Your favorite part?
Palisade cells.
Tune
I
in
like-
for Sam tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about ants and honey.
Yeah, versus ants versus honey.
Oh,
Bats
and there's
versus
stoma
honey.
cells underneath.
Yeah.
The bottom of the plant, that's where it breathes.
Are we going to have an
Did you
ant
know
farm
that?
here?
Yeah, we're gonna get some ants and some honey and plants and
Ooh. Looking forward to
chili.
it. Chili.
Episode number and date, day of the week.
Oh, flowers. Very nice.
1345, 22. Look, plants.
Oh,
Channel
today's
22.
episode, 1345?
1330. Yeah, 45. No, 46. 1346.
Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
YDHWM.com 360-836-4384. 1345. Crew, you guys want to be on the crew and do anything if
I
you want
missed out
though?
on 1345.
That was yesterday.
I missed out.
UFO FBI, TCTV, LaBaby.com, Psycho Feeling, Jordan E, fabulous. Thurston County, Washington State, USA, thank you.
It was just another episode.
Viewers and listeners, yeah, hell yeah, dog.
Hey, I'll be on the
Everything's
13.
just another episode here.
13.
Bye-bye, and,
No,
This is Freeform,
13.
bro.